Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to cut and sew this beautiful off-shoulder smoky gathered gown, how to attach your half length, how to make your own smoky very neat and perfect on the half length. If this sounds like something you're interested to learn, keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, fold your fabric by 2. After folding, I'm going to cut the front, then I'll use the front to cut the back, okay? So my off shoulder is 5 inch. I removed 5 inch from my off shoulder and the half length is 16 inch. I've gone ahead to mark. My normal half length is 15 inch, but because of this try, I tried to mark 16 inches. That means I added just 1 inch, okay? So after rolling this line, next thing I want to do is to mark quarter of my bust circumference. Okay, at the waistline, I'm going to mark quarter of my waist circumference. I use my ruler to connect the 2 points. Once I'm done with that, next thing I want to do is to add extra 10 inch for our smoky stitches. Okay, I mark 10 inch on the bust line and I also mark 10 inch at the waistline. I'll connect the 2 points just like this. Okay, so once I'm done with that, next thing I want to do is to add half an inch for our stitching allowance. Okay, I'll add half inch for the folding of the upper part, and at the waistline I'm going to add half an inch for stitching allowance, okay, or for joining the gathers. Once I'm through with that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting the front, I'll use the front to cut the back piece. All right, I've gone ahead to cut the front and back, as you can see. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to cut the armhole. So you remove your 5 inch for your off shoulder or whatsoever inch you removed for the off shoulder. Come down by your armhole depth. Mine was 8 inch. I marked 8 and I also came in by 4 inch. I went ahead to connect like so, then cut it out. So you are going to turn your front piece. Then from this upper side, you're going to mark your half inch for folding, okay? We are going to fold like so at the upper part first, you get, so that's why I marked the half an inch. So I'm also going to continue marking half inch. This is the lines that I'm going to be sewing the elastic, okay? It's not must you mark this, okay? If you can sew straight half an inch, like sew half an inch on all the fabrics. If you can sew straight, very straight, no need marking these lines. But if you cannot sew so straight, it's very important to mark those lines. Okay, I can do that, but I'm just marking this to guide you on what to do on and how you will do it. Okay, so I will just mark the half an inch. When I get to the down part, I left 1 inch at the down part, as you can see. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect those points to give me a straight line. Okay, I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other peaks. All right, like I said before, if you can sew half inch straight without marking, then it's very good, because the marking takes a whole lot of time. It consumes time, like really, you get. So after I was done with marking all the two pieces, you can see what I have here. So I'm going to now head over straight to my sewing machine to stitch on those lines, do you get? So here I have my elastic black thread and I have my normal black thread. So this elastic black thread, you're going to roll it in your ruler and the thread will be on top of your machine, do you get? So first, this is my machine. I want to sew now. I've gone ahead to fold the upper part. Can you see? The next thing I went ahead doing was to sew on those lines that I marked. Can you see? So you're going to sew like so, gently, gently. You continue sewing, okay, just like this. I will sew the first line and I will show you what I have, then I continue with the second line. All right, so this was the first line. You can see what I have here. I'm going to now continue with the second line. You sew like this. Do not overstretch your fabric while sewing, okay? Do not overstretch your fabric while sewing. So I'm going to continue sewing until I'm done with all these lines. After sewing this one, I'll repeat the same thing on the second piece. You get, this will take a whole lot of time before you can even done with one. You get, it took me about, I think, 4 hours to finish both the front and back piece. You can be faster than me. All right, so I've gone ahead to sew. I think I sewed 4 lines. You can see what I have here. So I'm going to continue stitching till I'm done with the both piece. All right. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew the both piece and I'm done sewing. You can see what I have here. This is the front and the other one is the back. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to make gathers at the down part. Okay, the down part is gathered, so I will go ahead and make my gathers. Okay, so the amount of fabric I used for the gather is 2.5. Okay, 2.5, that is what I used for the gathers. All right, but I divided the 2.5 by 2, one for the front and one for the back. I'll make a gather stitch for the front or back, whichever one. I'll make a gather stitch, then I will repeat the same gather stitch on the second piece. This is the second gather. This is the gather stitch. That is what I'm running here. Make sure your stitches are very loose. Make sure your stitch is loose. Okay, so go ahead and gather your piece just like you see me doing here. Okay, gather your piece like this. So after gathering this piece, what I did was to measure half of my waist circumference, which is 14, plus extra 2 inch for joining the both side. You get, I'm going to stitch the half length and the down part together using half inch. You get, so remember I cut the gathers off camera. I didn't film while cutting the gather. Okay, so what you're going to do is remove your half length, measure the full length of your gown and cut it out. Mine was 57 inch plus 1 inch for folding allowance. Okay, that is total of 58 inch. That's the length of my full gown for a long dress. You get, now back to what I was saying. I've gone ahead to join the half length of one of the piece. I also repeat the same thing on the other one. Okay, you can see what I have here after it's done. The next thing I want to do now is to join the both piece together, the front and back piece. Go ahead and join them together. You can see I have two of it here. I've already done the other one off camera. You get, so I am going to join this from the armhole. I'll use 1 inch to join the side. After joining this side with 1 inch, I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So whatsoever you do on this side, make sure you repeat the same thing on the other side. If you use half an inch to join this side, make sure you use the same half inch to join the other side. If you use 1 inch to join this side, make sure you use the same 1 inch to join the other side. Do you get? After joining the both side, I've also hemmed the down part of this gown. All right. I'm done joining the both side. You can see what I have here after it's done. Can you see? This is it, guys. So the next thing I want to do now is to cut the sleeve. All right, I'm going to cut the sleeve, but before I do that, I'm going to measure what I have on the armhole. What I have here is 8 inch. Okay, that is what I have here. So I'm going to keep this aside and I work on the sleeve. For the sleeve length, it is 7 inch plus 1 inch for folding of the down part and upper part. Okay, so I will go ahead and draw my straight line. All right, so for the round sleeve, I'm going to divide my round sleeve by 2. I marked 5.5, okay, and I will add extra 7 inch because we are going to make another smoky. Okay, so I added 7 extra inch to my normal round sleeve. You get. After I was done with this, I'm going to cut it out. Then I'll use the same piece to cut the second sleeve. Okay, so this is the second sleeve. I have 2 sleeve here. I'm going to cut the armhole just like we did at the half length. Replace your tape to whatsoever inch you remove for your off shoulder. Mark your normal armhole. Mine was 8 inch. I marked it, then I came inside by 4 inch. I connected like so, then I cut it out just like you see me did. Next thing I want to do now is to fold the upper part. I'm going to hem the upper part. You can see how I folded it. I folded it 2 times, small 2 times. Then I went ahead to run a stitch at that point. I'll do the same thing at the down part. You fold into 2 and hem just like this. You're also going to repeat the same thing on the second sleeve. You get. So guys, after I was done with this, you can see what I have here. Next thing I will do is to run my designs, that is the smoky lines. I'm going to run it here. I'm not going to mark this with my chalk, it consumes time. I'm just going to sew straight with half inch all through. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do that. You can see what I have here on both sleeve. The next thing I want to do now is to fold into 2. So from the wrong side of the fabric, you are going to stitch, but before then you will measure your armhole. I want to measure, and I got about 4 inch here, that is 8 inch. Okay, I got 4 inch into 2 is 8. That is what I have there. I'm going to use half inch to stitch the sleeve from the armhole side to the hem. Okay, just like this. I'll repeat the same thing on the other sleeve. All right, I'll repeat the same thing on the other sleeve. I've stitched the both sleeve as you can see. The next thing I want to do is to attach to my dress. Okay, so from the armhole side of the dress, I'm going to pin the sleeve armhole to armhole. After pinning, I'll use half inch to stitch from that point to the other side. Okay, I'll repeat the same thing on the other sleeve once I'm done with this one. Hands held tight, the future's near. No more doubt, no more fear. Every word and every tear, all of it will disappear. Voices rise into the sky. We will soar and we will fly. No more questions asked. I've done that, guys. You can see what I have here after I was done. So I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. At this point, if I yet subscribe to my YouTube channel, kindly hit on the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you will always be notified anytime new video drops. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. Please hit on the subscribe button. For those that are already following me, thank you so much for following. I appreciate. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment and share. Okay, give this video a thumbs up. Alright, and please do not forget to invite your other 2 friends to join this channel. So guys, I've gone ahead to join the second sleeve. As you can see, And this is how the dress is looking. You can see this smoky is very beautiful, so tiny, and very very beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.